Good morning, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're right, because it's time for the predictions video. So about 16 hours ago, the November Force Ripe Ruster rotated in, an interesting batch of skins, a lack of clothing and armor again. But out of all these skins, we're going to go ahead and try and figure out which of them potentially is the best investment for this week, which of these skins might help us walk away with some sweet, delicious looking profit. So sit back, relax, and start yapping. Okay, November 6, 2025 Ruster, an interesting batch of skins, quite a lot of collection continuations. Now let me just point this out. The handmade LMG is the brand new Skinnable. We are expecting to see quite a lot more of them. The focused item of the month is the L96. We are expecting to see quite a lot more of them. Oh, and lo and behold, both the storage collections have returned. Small props collection, Sinotype collection. Oh, that's looking pretty interesting. But also, another transparent furnace. Uh-oh. Kind of worried about the ghost furnace. After that sold, what, 70,000 plus subscribers? Now we have another one. Uh-oh. 2 beds. One handmade LMG skin was accepted, but 2 beds. Yeah, this is a little bit troublesome. Then we've got a pretty cool looking AK-47, another Señor Tomato skin, and as you can see, a pretty interesting Swirled Crossbow. So, an interesting batch of skins indeed, but if we were to question what potentially is the best investment for this week, what would I say? It has to be Sinotype. In the past, as we've been progressing quite nicely with this collection, there's one notable instance where we didn't see one being accepted. When there was a potential one that could be accepted is what I should clarify, but basically when we did complete the sets for our store, there was no Sinotype skin here, and a lot of people panicked. Now I've mentioned this already in my recent, profit review video for August 21, but yes, a lot of people panicked. They sold their Sinotype skins, and the very next week, we saw the clothes box. Oh, okay, cool, it's still continuing. Everybody bought them back out again. So with all the older Sinotype skins, go check their history. Around the end of August, a lot of them dropped off in price, and then they recovered pretty quickly afterwards. But then, of course, as we've gone through September and October, like many skins, they have dropped off pretty bad. The autumn fall seasonal dip. September, October, November, they drop off. It's a routine thing that happens every single year. You should understand by now. I've said it plenty of times. Anyway, what's just happened? After 2 weeks of Halloween, when loads of people were noticing prices were dropping off, when some people assumed, oh no, it's the end of Sinotype, it only got 13 skins accepted, November Force Ripe rolls in, oh look, here's number 14. Take a look at this. As you can see here, with all the Sinotype skins that have been accepted, it's now currently costing $47.44. But just over a week ago, I put out a certain tweet. So let's just quickly switch over to here. Oh, and by the way, if you want to get a good look at all the brand new skins, consider watching my Rust rotation video for November 6, 2025. I'm talking about this tweet here. I put out a big warning on October 28, there you go, October 28, 2025. Yes, the prices are down, but with the expectation of potentially seeing a brand new wood storage perhaps, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of a rebound. Now this was October 28, look at the price, oh, $38.20. Now, it's not like an insane gain, but it has improved. With the wood box being accepted today, we have noticed a bit of improvement. So, notably, see here, Sinotype firearms, $12.58 on October 28. I'll switch back over to here. Oh, look, it's sitting there at $14.92. Yep. So, that started to improve as time goes on. As we see more of these Sinotype skins being accepted again, yes, we expect all the other skins to start rising up in price. A lot of people assumed, oh no, Sinotype collection was going to only have 13 skins. But now we have number 14, as you can see right there, and potentially we might have number 15 right here. Now with this upcoming weekend, I do expect more to be produced. I don't know how far it's going to go. The largest storage collection we've seen is the Neon Storage Collection, when it had all the large boxes. That went up to 18. If it reaches 15, I think you can consider it a complete collection, but I would like it to see go all the way up to 18. I would like to see it go further beyond. But how many ideas are there left? You could probably say electric, Dropbox, car parts. Those were skins we've seen in previous storage collections. But what would you suggest? What would you like to see being made? Feel free to comment below. Regardless, it has progressed ever so nicely. We still have more potentially, and I think we're going to start seeing a proper recovery from here and now. We should be past the worst of it. So if you haven't done so, if you're looking to get like the full collection, you might want to consider doing it now. Because as we get closer and closer to January time, we are expecting the prices to improve ever so nicely. Let me just go through the details once more. So We reached 174,000 people with the November 4 swipe. Tonight, or rather tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, there's a good chance we will actually beat that. There's a good chance that we're going to have a pretty solid month after what, September was. October, it gained very nicely. People did appreciate October. But with November, whilst we did have like an update, there wasn't that much content. Now, there's some interesting changes, all blueprints. Oh, it's a lot more easier to get things now, apparently. But yes, some interesting things were added. But in terms of content, nothing like huge, nothing insane. That's for next month. That's when we have the naval update actually being introduced. It was supposed to be this month. They decided maybe we should push it back a month. That's fine. We're expecting a lot of people to turn up for December at the beginning. When the naval update comes through, oh, there you go. And then, of course, we're expecting a lot of people all around the world time off. Kids will be out of school, students out of college, people won't be working as much. There's that period of time at the end of December, rolling into the first week of January, where people just aren't working that much. Plenty of time to play Rust. Oh, yes. And this is why we truly expect that we are going to see all the skins rise up in price ever so nicely. I truly believe we're going to see something very similar like last year's December. See that? 112,000 average player count for the month, 191 peak player count. I honestly think November, the naval update will definitely bring in a lot more people. Kind of hoping so. But then, of course, earlier this year, January 4 swipe, we saw the all-time peak player count happen because we had a very strong, solid December. January 4 swipe for 2026 is the 1st of January. We'll see how we'll see how it goes for the Americans. Don't drink so much, but you get the idea. So I'm still thinking the momentum is still strong. I'm still feeling optimistic that lots of skins that have suffered as of recent will recover and end up going up in price ever so nice. If you stay optimistic, keep your head up, things should be okay. And for the Sinotype collection, well, specifically talking about wood storages, we've clearly had some in the past. Scientific wood storage, neon wood storage, graffiti wood storage, all of those sold for $2.50 as well. $4, $16, almost $7. They have improved ever so nicely. Then again, they've had some time to slowly gain in value. But I do believe a lot of people do want a nice looking wood storage, okay? So, if we're expecting more, I think Sinotype collection will be recovering. Point made, all good. All skins are expected to rise up again. So, keep your head up. Let's move on. So, with all the remaining skins, what else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about small tea box. I think a lot of people are going to be very happy with this, especially with it being another skin for this collection. And lo and behold, oh look, the prices are starting to improve. When I did my Rust rotation video, this was only up slightly. Now it's up by a third. This is now in a positive. These are looking like they're starting to improve. But just remember, we have had like a glow-in-the-dark, meds box before, small one. These are unique, but how necessary are you? Doesn't matter. Point is, small props collection is the largest small box collection we've ever had. 6. Is that it? Yeah. Now, I don't know how far it can go. If this truly does end up being like a full-fledged storage collection, aka if it goes all the way up to 18 or more, or around that, okay, this will be new. And that small tea box, independently, I just can't help to assume a lot of people are going to be quite eager for that. Would you put all your berries and your seeds? Well, maybe the fridge, but anyway, that right there. A lot of people do happen to like the tea stuff, but it's also quite expensive. And the only other tea storage we have is about $6. Let's just take a look at this. Now, just to remind you, it's like, oh no, it's gone back up. Okay, someone did like a very lowball price and, well, it got bought out. Look at the price. How many people can sit there and say, oh, I just need that tea box. I'll just go spend $5.50. It'll be all right. How about instead you take a look at the brand new $1.49, small tea box. You can even position it, put it on your wall. Well, with the shelf, you get the idea. So I think that's going to be one of the storages that people are going to genuinely really want. Diving box very likely will be getting quite a lot of attention when we have the naval update. Cards box, I know some people are like, but it's the only cards box we have. This collection is growing. I mean, if it continues, if it if it gets somewhere, I do think this will be working out quite all right. Maybe not to the extent of like a Sinotype, neon storage, and like graffiti storage and scientific storage collection from the past, but still I expect to see improvement. There is another skin potentially on the horizon. If I could just quickly go to the workshop here. Oh, sorry, this website a little bit finicky for me. There you go. I can confirm there's actually another storage on the workshop already. We have an ammo box, Which one will be accepted? We shall see. That's lighter green, that's darker green. Where's my pink box? My purple box and my orange box, we'll see. But what small boxes would you like to see next? The skin creator does look at the comments. He does look at suggestions. He looks at my videos. So what small props box would you like to see being made next? Quite a few people did say, I'd love to see a small drop box. And that would be quite appropriate. So comment below, offer your opinions. So yep, I'm feeling optimistic. It's looking pretty sweet. What else is there to say then? What's looking pretty good? I think I have to talk about the UFO Abduction Furnace. Number one, a very nice, notable green design. Number two, it's the second ever transparent design. Now again, if you want to get a real good look at it, funnily enough, I've already done like a short video showcasing this somewhat recently, because I was like, uh-oh, there's another transparent furnace. Uh-oh, it was accepted. Right, anyway, back over to here. Looking at the rust rotation video, just remember I chapter all the skins, so you can easily just skip ahead to 18 minutes in and you can get a good look at that, because it's a very nice, very cool design. With my thumbnail here, I tried to make it look as if it was like trying to what's it called, I don't want to say suck, but you know what I'm trying to say. The flying sorcerer is trying to while I'm sleeping. Anyway, moving on. What are you trying to say? It's a pretty cool design. It's unique. It's got a very good, interesting green design to it. And when you look at like most furnaces in general, quite a lot of them only have like a yellow and red and orange interior. But the ones with like a different coloured design, like purple and pink, standout designs that are unique, they tend to work out quite all right. So if I could just quickly switch over to here and look at them by highest price. Oh, I'm talking about Neon Vibes. I'm talking about Abyss. I'm talking about Ultramarine. Could we also be talking about UFO Abduction Furnace? Funnily enough, it's listed at $3 and it's immediately in the top 10. That just goes to show how nice furnaces end up usually. They're not very nice investments, I'm sorry to say, but that's very unique. Where's that ghost furnace? Where are you? Where is he? I just saw him a second ago. There he is. This brain. Whilst this didn't have like a different like interior or anything, it was still a very interesting, very cool design with the ghost, the transparency. Like, it looked genuinely really cool. I'm not surprised to see it sold so much. But this right here, you are definitely not getting anywhere close to 70,000 subscribers. Now, I do worry for this. If you happen to invest into these, I mean, what the hell? What are you doing? 70,000 subscribers. Did you honestly think that's a smart idea? I don't think so. As time goes on, I do expect it to drop off. I do believe we're going to start seeing a lot more transparent furnaces being produced and accepted. So, yeah, if you happen to own one and you're worried about its price, you're more than welcome to go ahead and sell if you want to. But if you only bought one because you liked it, appreciate it, keep it, love it, right, cherish it. Okay, you don't have to sell, but it's up to you. Right, so yes, there could be more. There could be more transparent designs. But based on what I've seen here, I think it's cool enough and unique enough that it'll hold up. But in terms of how much is it going to sell, I was guessing about 30,000 16 hours ago. I mean, we'll see, but sales will definitely have an impact. More transparent designs will have an impact as well. At the very least, this is abnormal. All the skins of this rust store, except that small box right there, they're all abnormal, okay? So we'll have to wait it out, okay? Smart approach, abnormal borders first, every Wednesday night, and then, of course, we'll look at them, we'll question if it holds up. So a good example would be last night. Here you go. There. We did the Halloween week 2 abnormal borders. I looked at all the skins, and after I looked for all the skins, after doing the abnormal borders, one of them stuck out to me. I just felt the need to go ahead and buy 50 of the Hammer from Hell. That right there had a lot of support behind it. It generally looked like it was in a very good position. We don't see that many hammers being accepted, let alone glow-in-the-dark hammers. And I thought, you know what? People always need to build something. They always need a hammer at some point. I thought it was a very good thing to approach. And I honestly felt a whole lot more confident with it after I saw the abnormal barders. Because that sold for $2 in the rust store. Barders were going all the way up to like $1.90. So, yeah. If you're confused, just watch the first 5 minutes of this, right? And then skip ahead to the abnormal barders chapter. Then listen to me as I talk about the abnormal barder support. About 10 minutes, but you'll basically understand everything with abnormals. Abnormal skins become marketable before the rust even rotates. And we have a solid like 20 hours before the next rust store appears. And we got like a fairly decent idea of how well the skin's actually going to retain its value. And whether it might actually be a nice investment. So cool. That's for you to learn about. And yeah, I also bought 50 mum wraps because they tend to be very nice long-term investments. Cool. Right then, so let's now switch back over to here. Furnace. We'll have to wait it out for you. You're interesting, but the sales could be a concern. So, okay, cool. Understood. Looking at the remaining skins, I think I might want to talk about Señor Tomato. It's very goofy. It's not selling that much. Some of the skins here have worked out quite nicely. It just keeps getting more and more skins accepted. I have to, I don't know how it does it, but it does it. Will we see clothing? Do you reckon we'll see primitive clothing, burlap, hide clothing, or do you reckon we'll see like a proper set, like hoodie, pants, tier 2, tier 3? What do you reckon? And would you approve of such a thing? Now, a lot of you will sit there and say, oh, but it's red. It stands out like in every environment. Well, that just means Face Punch will accept it. You know how it is. Anyway, if we do see like an actual like clothing and armor set, that backpack will rise up in price. Miner hat very likely will as well. How confident do you think this could happen? This is why I think the backpack might be pretty interesting. Not too many sales. Probably after 7 days, it will barely reach about 10,000 subscribers. And if that does happen, it does make it a whole lot more interesting. It is abnormal. We don't have to rush into it. If you like it with its silly design, by all means, buy one for yourself. Not every single skin has to be an investment. You can simply buy a skin because you like it. It's a treat for yourself. Love it, appreciate it, support the skin creator, keep them nice and motivated to keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. But yeah, I'm keeping my eye on it. I'm curious. With all the other skins, what's also looking somewhat interesting? Well, I guess I want to talk about the crossbow. It's a perfectly fine looking design. Selling at $2.49 though. Whilst it does have like a little bit of transparency, it's nothing to really like make you like have a huge advantage, like, the Stinger crossbow we saw earlier this year, cargo heli crossbow, for example. So, okay, fair enough. It's a perfectly fine standard looking design. Crossbows in general, though, they do seem to drop off. But I'm sitting here like, you know what? Maybe like a fairly decent bard would work out very nicely. They tend to drop off. They don't seem to go down too badly. And with its design, I think it would stand out a fair bit. So, okay, fair enough. I thought the AK-47 actually looked pretty sweet. Like, I actually thought this design, so again, consider watching my rust rotation video, skip ahead to where I showcase this. During the day, this actually stood out very, very nicely. Like, enough where I had to kind of sit there and say, you know what? This actually might be a unique enough and interesting design that people will actually want to use it. So, yep, consider watching the rust rotation video. Skip ahead to the part where I showcase it. I want you to tell me, do you agree? You could just spend like a quick minute just watching it. It's got a very nice shine. It's hard to explain. Look at it right now and then you tell me. So, okay, cool. Understood. I'm curious. It's also not exactly like the highest selling skin at the moment. But then again, with the recent Fort skins, as you might notice, it's not exactly super great. But then again, I do recall a skin very similar to this. It was the Deep Ruby. Now, this did drop off pretty badly. So let's just quickly remind you of this. There you go. That got really cheap at one point. That sold for $3.49. It went all the way down to close to around $1. Yep. But over time, considering that was accepted back in January time, 2025, that has slowly been rising up more and more and more. Now, earlier today, it was actually close to $3. Now it's kind of dropped a fair bit. That's a bit unfortunate. But something like that, which did stand out very, very nicely, very unique, bit goofy, but hey, sometimes people do appreciate something like that. It's done a very good job climbing up. And as you can see, that's just a straggler. This should be actually like around $2.60, and it's very thin. That ended up doing what, 30,000 subscribers? Could the somewhat unique and interesting stylish Fort AK-47 actually work out quite alright? We'll have to wait and see. It's also abnormal. We'll question it Wednesday night when we do the abnormal barders. Beds. Both of them. Well, more specifically, I think the race car bed will be doing better compared to the cyber bed, but the cyber bed probably will have something very interesting that might give it a nice push. This is a very goofy, very fun, silly design. Props to Stabby. Now, initially, I thought maybe Face Punch would make their very own DLC, a race car bed, but like, I can't hate what is made. It's pretty cool, a nice, fun, glow-in-the-dark design. No complaints. I know a lot of people are super eager for something like this to happen. Well, lo and behold, it's happened. It's now the 4th lowest selling skin. If this was like the first ever bed skin to be accepted, I think that probably would have reached about 50,000 subscribers. But of course, over the course of October, we saw tons of these skins being accepted, and lo and behold, a Twitch drop's right there. The first ever bed Twitch drop is right there. We have seen far too many skins in such a short amount of time. Now, I know some of you are going to sit there and say, oh, look, the Halloween skins are in the positive. Give another week or two, they'll drop off. It's to be expected. We got 2 bed skins accepted on the day the handmade NMG was, made skinnable. That's a big surprise to me, but kind of not as well. If you're keeping track of all the recent skin submissions, you'd know that we got tons of bed skins last weekend, and then tons of bed skins, the most recent weekend. Like, we had about 20 submissions for beds, but in total of all the handmade NMGs, we only got like 12, like next to nothing. So there you go. There's like 10 submissions here in total, but then the most recent weekend, yeah, there was like 2. I'm not sure if it's like really hard to make a handmade NMG skin. I lack that context, but yeah, I was kind of surprised. So if we keep seeing more and more and more and more and more bed skins, it's getting concerning. It might end up being like the large backpack. The large backpack became skinnable last year, November 2024. We now have 39 skins after 365 days. Huh. Maybe it's not too surprising to see the majority of the backpacks are down in price, but again, it's still the autumn fall seasonal dip. Look at this again around January time. Chances are you'll see more of them in the green. You will see more of them in the green. So, okay, fair enough, all good. So yeah, I am concerned with what happens to bed skins next, but if it starts to slow down, if we don't see that many being accepted for quite a decent amount of time, I can then see like them working out quite all right. But with the first few, as I already said many times, the first few skins who have a brand new skinnable are most likely going to end up suffering because there's far too many of them, and when more and more options appear, people kind of like lose interest with the first few and look for the other ones, and yeah, you get the idea. Cool. Right then, Cyberped. I feel like the race car bed's going to do better compared to you. Cyber Collection isn't very in demand. However, with its very metallic design, I just can't help but assume a lot of people are going to be probably wanting to use this with a potential brand new building skin. As I hop over to here, oh, look at that. Space Station building skin. Lost my tongue there, sorry about that. Yes. Perhaps a very metallic bed would perfectly slot in with this brand new building skin. What do you reckon? Well, we can't say anything yet because we haven't seen it. And do not be surprised if someone ends up making like a space station bed. So, yeah. You know what? I bet that'll probably be the first ever transparent bed. It'll probably float with like a white glow panel and whatnot. And that'll be pretty cool. Nice and futuristic. Not sure if it's guaranteed though, so we'll see. So, yep. Space Station building skin. High quality metal, perhaps? What do you reckon? They'll be mentioned here at some point eventually, but yes, keep an eye on the commits. New projects are being worked on. The first building skin to be produced since Brutalist? That was like 2 years ago. All right, well, cool. I mean, I guess you could say gingerbread, but I'm talking about one you can buy and use forever. So, okay, cool. Right then, hop back over to here. Both the beds are a bit concerning. There will be more beds. There will be more beds. There will be more beds. Okay, cool. What about the remaining skins? Hedge. You've got an L96 here. You've got a handmade NMG here, but you haven't talked about them. Well, yeah, it makes sense because we're expecting a whole lot more of them to be accepted. The L96 is the focused item of the month. And what we keep seeing with all the previous focused items of the month is that we see far too many of them being accepted. Case in point, we just saw a whole bunch of the minor hats being accepted, and well, look at them now. Yeah, they're not looking very pretty because we saw tons of them being accepted in a very short amount of time. You get the idea. So this also applies to wooden double doors. This also applies to the M39s. So let's just go, take a quick look at the wooden double doors, for example. Something that used to be a very rare sight to see. You hardly ever see them being like submitted. And now, wooden double door. Sorry, it's hard to find it for some reason. There you go. Yeah, only one of them's in the positive. Now, for a very long time, all of them were in the negative and actually worse off. But they're actually starting to recover now, which is nice to see. But that's also a point of even something that used to be like very in demand and used to always be in the positive, even that struggled and suffered. Okay? So L96s as well, that's a whole other can of worms, unfortunately, because take a look at all the L96 skins. Tell me how many of them are in the positive. Oh, there's one. Okay, cool. And then 2. That's it. We have 23 skins in total, and only 2 of them are actually in the positive on the Steam market. Yeah, that's a bit of a concern, isn't it? Yep. And we might potentially be having another one fairly soon as a Twitch drop. What do you reckon? So, Abyss L96. What could come out after you? Well, if we actually quickly switch back over to here, can confirm we have seen some pretty interesting L96s being submitted. We have Fractal, Steel Reaper, Cold Alloy, Ink Dragon, Retro Blast, Abyss L96. There you go. That was an interesting batch. And then, with the most recent weekend, we saw Mutagen, Timberfang, Biomechanical, Worn, we have Popstar, and then we have Black Diamond. We're going to see more L96s being accepted. We'll probably get like 4 or 5 over the course of the next few weeks. Do not be surprised. Sorry to say, but yes, I've learned the behaviour and I'm expecting potential problems, especially with that being sold at $3. That will drop off. I know Abyss skins have done pretty nicely over the past like couple months or so, but even then, I do worry. I know the AK-47 here is doing very well, but when you look at like the other skins in that collection, the weapon skins, they're not exactly doing amazing. Yeah. Thompson's doing quite alright though, props to you. But yeah, look at it again around January time, maybe they might actually be in the positive. But the L96. If it doesn't sell too much, perhaps it might be better, but I wouldn't be surprised if it gets probably close to 20,000 subscribers. Very rough estimate, by the way. And then, of course, last, the brand new Skinnable. This is the first ever handmade LMG. It will not be the only handmade LMG. Now, as I pointed out, we haven't really seen that many submissions. When we knew the bid was going to become Skinnable, well, we saw tons. But we only saw 12 over the past 2 weeks for a handmade LMG. Now, some very interesting designs have been submitted, and let me tell you, there's some transparent aim sight ones as well. But you, No Mercy. You're the 40th No Mercy skin to be accepted. You're listed at $3. I showcased it quite nicely in the in my Rust rotation video. Again, consider watching it over there. But to be honest with you, with more options potentially just around the corner and Twitch drops, you can't say no to Twitch drops. You know a lot of the content creators, the ones that frequently get skins accepted with with Twitch events and well kick drops now as well. You know they're going to end up going with a handmade LMG, aren't they? Because it's the new thing. It's just become skinnable. They know a lot of people are going to want to get that for absolutely free. A very cool design. Who will be the first person to get a transparent aim sight? And potentially one that glows or something, you know? So, okay. That probably will be dropping off. It's not exactly selling crazy amounts. We saw the cargo helibed do over 40,000 subscribers. That doesn't look like it's going to happen, but it does look like it's going to comfortably go over 30,000 subscribers as of now. Maybe things will change. Keep track of it. But maybe it might do like, oh no, 35, 38,000. Point still remains. It's still a lot. And there will be more options. How often are you using a handmade LMG? Like, honestly, compared to all the other weapon skins, feel free to comment below. It would be nice to keep track and get some data collection. So, I'm interested, but I am also worried. We saw what happened to beds. I've accidentally showed this video a little bit like too much, but there you go. When the first beds came out, I knew what was going to happen. And this video is made to prepare you for every brand new Skinnable. Next month, December 2025, tactical gloves are the next Skinnable. January, February, March, we don't know. But December we do, okay? I'm pretty sure a lot of people would greatly appreciate tactical glove skins, but they also might, buy tons of them. So, you've been warned. Okay, cool. So, we've basically just discussed every single skin. Some of them are looking pretty interesting. Some of them I'm very much afraid of, and I probably will just stick with a low boilder. Sorry to say, but I've seen it happen before. There's a lot of high-priced skins this week, isn't there? Blimey. Anyway, is there other things to discuss? Yes, there is. So, if I could just quickly showcase like the overall scores, as you'll notice, everything was viewed positively. That No Mercy handmade LMG had an upvote to downvote ratio of like 6 to 1. Ridiculous. Keep an eye on the commits. We have just seen the November update go through, and Twitch drops render add handmade LMG. I think we just probably got spoiled that we're potentially going to see a handmade LMG Twitch drop. Twitch rivals December. You saw it. Anyway, moving on. So keep an eye on the commits because, of course, we're expecting brand new projects to be worked on. We just showcased you that there's a brand new building skin being worked on. Tactical gloves are now skinnable. And we are expecting the return of ice sculptures. If you don't remember, last year we're supposed to see ice sculptures being introduced as a brand new special item for Christmas, but there were problems. They shelved it for next year. Well, that's right now. So it looks like they're figuring out all the issues and the problems, and it does look like it'll probably be ready for the upcoming, Christmas Rust stores. Do you know one of the Christmas Rust stores literally on Christmas? Is it going to happen on Christmas? I don't know. We'll have to find out and wait and see. Anyway, so yes, more things are being worked on. Naval update is still being worked on as well. I keep losing my tongue. Sorry, I'm not fully awake. It's my own fault. I do apologise. But I hope I was coherent and clear, explaining lots of things to you with this video. So, alright, cool. Anything else to discuss, Mr. Hedge? Well, I wonder. Maybe I could quickly point out that we have those brand new kick drops coming out next week. Have you seen the kick HAZMAT? If you haven't, this tweet will be linked in the description. Scroll down right now. You'll see it for yourself. I have got it at a slower pace right here. But what I'm doing here is showcasing the kick HAZMAT. And let me tell you, it is absolutely ridiculous, because you could get that for absolutely free, and it is very, very, very good in shaded green, like forest areas. Very, very good in the jungle, like ridiculously good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to like showcase, like I'm just standing in the foresty area. You blend in perfectly. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, make sure you do not miss out. It doesn't glow or anything. It's just super useful and super helpful. So don't miss out. Make sure you go ahead and get yourself set up with the brand new Kick accounts. So as you can see over to here, yep, drops on Kick. We have 4 very interesting general drops. And remember, when this event takes place between the 13th of November to the 23rd of November, you will need to have a Kick account. You can only get these drops by watching Rust streams on Kick. Get your brand new Kick account set up. Go to kick.facepunch.com, go to the connect section, connect it with the Steam account that you want to get all the drops on, okay? So sign in with Kick, sign in with Steam, go through the details, you'll get them connected with each other, you will be prepared. Some people have had some complications apparently. It's a bit unfortunate. And oh, look at all the drops that are appearing with the streamer skins. So of course, to get the streamer skins, you will have to watch them specifically. 2 hours of your time, each individual skin, it's easy, you've got 10 days to do it. And all the people that have skins here, they will be streaming pretty much every single day. Most likely 24/7. So yeah, cool. Right then, so that's looking pretty sweet. Make sure you're prepared for that. Player count is improving. Blog post was pretty sweet. Mini fridge was nice. But one thing we haven't discussed yet is the brand new RPG. Now, we'll have a short video being uploaded later today. Keep an eye out for that. Or consider just watching my Rust rotation video. Skip ahead to the chapter where I showcase it. But yes, the RPG launcher is just a rocket launcher cosmetic. When you purchase it, it will be tied to your account. So if I could just quickly switch over here to the Rust store. Are you aware that there's the general section? This is where like the permanent things are. Like all the building skins, for example. But every now and then, Facepunch makes like a very, very special skin themselves. You might recall the very nice looking retro TC. Yeah, the tool cupboard. $10. But people buy it because they like it. Well, now you have a very cool, very interesting RPG rocket launcher. Brand new sounds. Pretty interesting looking design. But if you don't care about that, you don't have to spend $7 on this, alright? But when you do, just remember, you will not be able to trade it. You will not be able to sell it, okay? It will be permanently bound to your account. There you go. It's not like the Dragon Rocket Launcher, for example. That's something you can actually sell and whatnot. So, okay, understood. So, yeah, that's different. That was also made by Facepunch. That's like a Lunar New Year special item that gets brought back every Lunar New Year. So, all right, cool. We're learning things. Understood. So, sorry this went on for a bit, but I had a lot of things to go over, and I hope you feel a little bit more optimistic and prepared with this Rust, okay? The smartest thing to do is be patient, let the sales happen, wait till next Wednesday, we'll do the barters first, we'll look at the abnormal barter support, see how many barters each skin has, how high the price goes, we have a good indicator whether those skins will actually retain their value. And if you're like new to this, I stream like pretty much every day almost, but more specifically I do stream on Wednesdays, I talk about all the sales, I talk about all the skins, what prices we might want to offer, so if you're new to it, look at the description, all the links to my socials are there, more specifically my Twitch, Wednesday night, at 9 PM UK time, I'll be there. I'll be yapping. You're more than welcome to get seated, get all nice and seated. You can take part as well. So that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck to you. Enjoy yourselves. Have a fun weekend. And little by little, bit by bit, we get closer and closer to Christmas. Keep an eye on your Christmas investments. Prices are starting to look like they might be rising up a bit. And if you want to have like a nice Christmas base, you might look at the Christmas skins now, because they are expected to rise up as we get very close to December. Right. Catch you later. Say goodbye.